Japan has beautiful nature, exciting cities, rich culture, and delicious food. Well, except for natto. But how safe is Japan? Japan has crime and accidents just like any country, but it's so safe that most children start walking to school at just 6 years old. But the way it works is a combination of volunteer-minded elderly folks and parents that take turns doing flag duty at dangerous intersections. With nearly half the population of the US squeezed into an area the size of California, people in Japan are zooming around on roads that are way more narrow and less straight than roads I grew up being used to in America. And I don't know if it's the complexity of relationships here or the detailed kanji that they have to learn, their written language here, but there does seem to be some sort of precision about people driving much closer than I'll ever be comfortable with. But making a 6-year-old walk 1 or 2 kilometers, which is like a mile or two to school, isn't just throwing them to the wolves like I used to think. There are 2 things that make it safe for children that young to walk to school. One is what's called tokohan, which is a walking group. And the other thing is what's called旗振り当番, which is like a safety patrol made up of community members. Many parts of Japan use this system, but there are rural areas that rely only on buses and parents to take the kids to school. And then there are also metropolitan areas, the bigger cities, where there's less speeding and more traffic lights and crossing signals, so it's safer for kids to walk to school without necessarily needing these groups. However, many neighborhoods throughout Japan have these tokohan or walking groups, which are made up of kids that live nearby and go to the same elementary school. And the kids walk to school in a single file. Usually there's an older elementary student at the front and back. The younger kids are sandwiched in the center. And this is just so they can learn the ropes and it's safer and the older kids can watch over them. This system is an important part of the togetherness that Japanese kids learn from a young age. So learning to cooperate with people that you don't like or don't get along with and learning to walk to school with them is an important part of Japanese society. The other crucial aspect that makes it safe for kids to walk to school in Japan is what's called旗振り当番, or like a safety patrol system. And when I was growing up in the U.S., it was usually made up of 5th and 6th graders, and I even did it myself. But in Japan, often parents take turns, they're assigned duties to work at certain intersections near their house and hold a flag and make sure kids cross safely. And intersections closer to the school, sometimes it's even teachers that come out and work at those intersections. And it usually lasts like 15-20 minutes until all the kids that are walking to school make it there safely. And my turn usually comes up about once every 2 to 3 months, but it depends on the size of the school and how many children at the school. Of course, if it's a larger school, it means more parents, which means your turn will come up less often. But if it's a smaller school, there's a chance you might do it once a week or once a month. So it's actually quite a safe system, and it keeps the kids safe when they're crossing roads. And when speeding cars are coming, they usually slow down when they see intersections with parents or teachers holding flags. The icing on the cake is the older retired people that stand out on street corners and make sure the kids are staying safe and not acting unruly. Sometimes it's actually the grandparents of one of the kids that are in the walking group. But sometimes it's just nice local elderly people that just want to make sure kids are getting to school safe and make sure there aren't any strange people, strange cars coming through the neighborhood. Schools often have safety education for the children as well, to teach them how to stay safe and dangerous situations to avoid. These can be things like being aware of strangers in the neighborhood, strange cars, also dangerous traffic situations involving cars, bicycles, trains, those kind of things. So, I hope you learned something from this video, and if you liked it, be sure to click the like below and subscribe to the channel for more videos. So, I'll see you next time.